All right, so let's see if we can get this done this way. I'm going to talk about assignment 3 real quick, simply because it's probably easier for me to talk about than for you guys to figure it out on your own. What we are going to do here is we're going to create a 2-page mini website. When I say mini, I mean less than Amazon, right? Amazon's probably got thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pages on that massive, massive site. But we're going to have two, just two, and they're going to be continuing on in that vein of about me. So assignment 2 should be done, and assignment 3 then will be composed of the content you created in assignment 2, as well as the new stuff that we're going to do for the next assignment. And that is, we're going to use links from one page to another and from one site to another, as well as creating a table that is going to hold your weekly schedule, kind of a day planner look. And when I say we're going to use a table, we're going to use the HTML5 table, which is kind of on the outside, like an Excel spreadsheet or OpenOffice spreadsheet or whatever spreadsheet that you may use or your parents may use to do their accounting work. So this is going to be interesting. This is always a fun one. This is where the creativity with you guys tend to start. We're going to use a combination of HTML5 and a little inline CSS for this assignment. And by the time we get to HTML5's assignment, CSS3's assignment, assignment 5, we'll be doing an external style sheet and doing it the real way. So I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to make this bigger and hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. Yeah, drop down or come into public_HTML from wherever your cursor is. And we want you to make directory mkdir a3. Now, once you have that done, you get into your public_HTML directory and you issue that command that's on the next line. Obviously it's CP, so that means copy. -R stands for a recursive copy, which means it's going to take everything, including subdirectories like your images directory, inside of your A2 assignment and copy all that stuff over to A3. So in A3, as soon as you issue this command, you should have your index.html with the about me content on it. You should have an images directory with a picture of you inside of it. And you'll have room to start what the assignment 3 directory needs. Now, if you miss the -R or if you miss the star after the A2//, you're going to have problems. So it is better for you to, first of all, wait until you're done with A2 completely. Pardon me, you've had an extra week, so it should be good to go by now. The second thing is, if it doesn't work the first time, come and ask me why. Or, well, okay, email me and ask me why, but make sure you include a snapshot of the page. On most computers, you can hit print screen and then copy it into FanView or whatever your favorite image manipulator software is. And all I want is the error message. I don't need everything that you've got on your screens. All right, so anyway, copy -R A2/* to A3// get you everything that was in assignment 2. But we need another page. We're going to have 2 pages in here, remember? Index.html is only 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to issue the same command that we did before, the first time we opened up a new page in public_HTML. We're going to create the directory. We have, it's up there as A3. And then you're going to copy the template.txt from public_HTML into A3. And that's really, really, really not difficult. Basically, and I'm still having problems. I'm going to try and meet with the IT people again this week because it's not quite working the way I want it to. But what you're going to do is, here at the command line, you will do copy. Now, oh, I know. Remember that down one level below you is template.txt. So template.txt, and you're going to put it into A3, whoops, A3 / and we want to call that not index, page2.html. And it says I can't do that because I don't have an A3. They're absolutely correct, I don't. But if you type this down for you guys, and you've got your A3 connect made, you've got the A2 directory all copied into it, you should see absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. But when you ls-l inside of A3, what you should have is index.html, an images directory, your image in the images directory, and then page 2. Now, don't ever in the real world call the second page or any page of your site this stupid page, the page2.html, page3.html. Some search engine optimization uses those directory names as part of how they interpret your site. So if you're selling widgets on page 2, John's Widgets or Wonderful Widgets. You understand what I mean, I hope? So this is for ease of use for us, so that in grading, we don't have to guess at what the directory names are going to be in this folder. We can just know that it's going to be index.html, page2.html. And the next assignment that comes out is going to add a page3.html, but we're getting ahead of ourselves there. So we're going to leave that alone. And what we have over here then, inside of the public HTML A3 directory, create a new file called page2. We just walked through that. Inside of that, it's going to have 3 div tags, not 4, the way we had in assignment 1. And those 3 H1 section headings should be weekly schedule, classes, and links to site. Notice each section should have div tags around the header and all supporting content with unique IDs to identify each one. Well, gee, schedule or weekly schedule looks good to me. Classes and either sites or links. Either one of those would be appropriate. For each one of those 3 sections, you're going to have your div tag look like this. So that's div ID equals schedule, style equals width : 650 pixels. Now we've already used the width before, and we know that that controls the horizontal length of something. In this case, we're going to make our writable area, or our viewable area, if you prefer from the user's standpoint, 650 pixels wide and no further. Okay. For the weekly schedule, I've got very good details here. Set up an HTML5 table that lists your weekly Monday through Friday schedule. So across the top, you should have a date time column, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There are 6 elements in that. 1 for the date time column, and then 5 days. So your table is going to be 600 pixels wide. Days of the week across the top, as I just said, down the left-hand side, the very first table header in each one of your table rows is going to have style equals width 100 pixels. The table itself will have a style equals width 600 pixels. So each one of these columns is only going to be 100 pixels wide. Table should have a border, and the space between each cell should be 1 pixel, and we'll talk about that in the lecture here that's going on for you on Thursday. If you have 2 classes during one of the hour periods, pick the one to occupy the cell. We don't care about really exactitude here. What we're looking for is just the fact that you know how to create the table, populate the table, and then use a little bit of inline CSS to make it look cool, to make it look better than just black and white. On page 4 of this document, and that's all the way down here, of course, my on work time. Now at this point I was working part-time, but on work time was Gainsborough Gray, if I remember right. My lunch was, I can't even remember. Well, you can look up and see what the exact color was. And then this, for my classes that I was either teaching or taking, were Dodger blue, if I remember right. The point is, my favorite colors don't have to be yours. And if you want a dark color as a background, you can flip the foreground color, the letters, to white or a contrasting color. And we'll talk about how to do that again in the lecture. But each one of these are just the way they are. It shouldn't be too hard if you take each one of these sub bullets all by itself and walk through it. The table itself must have a background color of ghost white, F8, F8, FF. And again, we're going to talk about colors a little bit tonight too. But then I told you about how to get to the W3 Schools color names page. If you simply put that in a search engine, preferably Google, it'll take you right there as one of the first 2 or 3 links. Same thing for classes and links to site. Now, number 4 here is extremely important. You need to use an ID equals nav to create a section that is your navigation links. They don't have to be fancy right now. In fact, they probably will not be, because you guys probably won't have the ability yet to make anything fancy until we get further into CSS. But inside of that nav section, you need to place 2 links, one to the page you're on and one to the page you came from. So I'm talking an index.html link and a page2.html link on both pages. Amazon does not remove the science fiction tab when you're looking at a book by Isaac Asimov. And our menus should not change either. It confuses people that aren't really internet savvy. So, this talks about pulling the page into page2.html. As long as you use the template, and what I went through at the top of the page does that, you've got the badges on anyway. So that's what we want to do there. Remember, if you can't see a page or a file or a directory, you can always try and make it better using the chmod command, chmod 755 filename.html or a2/. It just depends. Ideally, as long as you've got the VPN running and you did that by logging in with the Trueduo, you should not have a problem viewing your websites, even if you're from home. If you shut the VPN off, you'll have to turn it back on before you can grab a hold of your web pages, before you can see them again. Just the way it is. Pain in the butt, but Again, those are rules that I did not make. Please, no, not safe for work content. It's just absolutely not important. If you are an exotic dancer of some sort, more power to you. Dance is a wonderful thing. But please, not in the web page. That's all there is to it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Actually, I'll say one more thing. Do you know why there is a little thing on a lot of cleaning bottles that says things like, don't wash your glasses with Windex while you're wearing them? It's because somebody did it. So let's just say that's why I made the rule up about, you know, nothing below PG-13. If you want to, you can use one of two ways to color the foreground style of your table data cells. And you could use the span command around the content of a table data cell. So span style equal color red, and then close the span, and that will have red text right in that area. Or inside of the TD, you could do style equals color FFF. That would bring you to white foreground. Or you could use midnight blue in the background and white in the foreground by putting them in the same style command. Now, hopefully that makes sense. And we'll talk more about that as we go through the lectures that are going to be posted on Thursday. Remember too that I must see your web page, or Steve must see your web page at odin.unomaha.edu/tilde yournetid/A13. Notice that public.html is nowhere in there. You don't tell people I am going to go fly an aircraft out of Epley admin building via the Southwest Airlines counter, right? You just say, I'm going to go fly Southwest. Well, the public_HTML is like the Epley admin building. It's there, but we kind of ignore it. All we do is go to Southwest it's been a long week. Southwest Airlines, which in this case is our A3 directory. So this is what you're looking for exactly. You're not looking for a public_HTML anywhere. It's just your netid/A1, A2, A3. Okay. You can read the full credit. I don't have to do that. And I will be creating a video that shows how you use the badges with Odin's onerous, overbearing, almost alliteration there, rule set. So that is it for today. And the next time I see you folks, we will be doing some links and some tables. So thank you. I will see you all not too long from now. And have a great night. I've got to stop sharing, I think, and stop the recording.